Yo, sing this shit. Are y'all fucking dumb?
Eternality.
That girl, she got with my clone. I told that little girl that she got it, just do better. Are you serious? I swear my money is serious. Okay, all my checks, I just be clearing it. She suck my dick till she get delirious. Okay, jump on the jet so I'm clearing it. Okay, pop, but I'm not talking new. Okay, smoke that boy just like a cigarette. If that boy try to make a fuss move, I'm on some whole other shit. I got a whole nother rich. I'm on a new level. I was fucking on your bitch. She was riding on my dick. She ain't need two pedals. I swear these niggas, they bitches. I swear they all gonna snitch when my niggas gon' shoot at them. Niggas, they mad about this. Niggas, they mad about that, but it's only if you let them. She say my name in her phone. Only thing she say me under is probably that you let her. No, I don't got proper loan.
Alright, everybody. We're back. We made it. Week 2 is over. Welcome to NDL Podcast 003. I think that's how we'll do that one. I've got a very special surprise for everybody because our friend Siggy, aka the Spaniard, the Conquistador, is now in Spain. He has left America.
Crazy.
And now he is in Europe. He made it. So we're going to have a little bit of a switch up around here for the next couple, however many podcasts it takes for him to get all settled and find a time, since he's like, 8 hours in front of us in time to get him back on. But we got back Kyle, the champ, with a whole lot going on over there as our guest. And our second guest, we got Vlad, the stoic. And as you can see,
good to be here.
Kyle has a lot going on for him right now. He's got the trophy. He's got the ring. He's got the Aaron Jones jersey.
That's right.
Shout out Siggy. Shout out the Spaniard.
Shout out Siggy.
He's got
Siggy.
that leg showing. I don't know if you know that's a leg.
I'm just in my true relaxation comfort zone right now. Just couldn't be better.
The flag, the cheese head over the mic, the vape. I mean, Vlad, what's he doing? What's going on?
It's the ultimate championship flex.
I am.
Let's get a close up of that ring too.
I'm at peace. Yes.
God.
Kiss the ring.
Ice.
Painted diamonds. Damn.
That's right.
Well, we don't have to catch up this week. We actually did a pod week to week like we're supposed to, even with 3 different people's time zones to work with. Luckily, we're all in the same time zone. It's going to be kind of a different pod this year because we're just going to have on whoever wants to come on, hop along, talk about fantasy, what's going on that week. But let's fucking get into it. Week 2. I'm about to share my screen, and well, you know what? First, before I share the screen, I'm going to keep it on all of us. Thoughts on week 2? I'm feeling good. I feel a lot better than last week.
I bet you do.
We all won. We all got feeling good.
It's definitely a great week for all 3 of us, that's for sure. But it was a pretty crazy week in general. A lot of high scores. It was mainly
so many more
blowouts, I think. Yeah, Tanner's and Jeffrey's was the closest, and still separated by 20-something points. So
Tanner got narrowest margin 2 weeks in a row. He's right up in there with you. I think you're number 1, and then it's Tanner right behind you, I believe.
Oh yeah, baby.
I think you got him on those points 4.
Number 1, baby.
But we got a lot to go over with week 2, so let me share my screen and let's just get into it, you know?
I'm down with it.
Let's just vibe a little bit. Okie dokie. So what do we have here? We have do we have a lot of upsets? I'm trying to I feel like everyone just kind of flipped. Everyone who did good this week, the first week, did shitty the next week, and everybody who did shitty last week did just terrific.
Yeah, definitely, especially with that Justin flip.
Yeah, on the Andre flip, Andre looked like he was about to just
True.
just sexually molest us every single game, and then he out 109 points with the same roster essentially. I guess he didn't have Devontae Adams, or did he get hurt in the middle of the game? I didn't watch it.
It was towards the end, I believe.
Okay. Well, he had an injured partially Devontae Adams. Let's just go in on that game. It's a neutral game. It doesn't involve either of us. So,
Vlad, do you want to cover this one?
Yeah,
this is going to be an interesting one because there's a lot of injuries to talk about too.
Definitely.
This one was interesting because Justin started off on Thursday with 5 touchdowns from Nick Chubb.
No, that's right.
Kareem Hunt and Tyler Boyd. So straight away, Andre just is in a world of hurt.
Bam, bam.
Horrible rest of the weekend.
And I mean, most of Justin's team just showed up. I mean, Diggs went off. Mike Williams did not do great, but DK had a huge touchdown on Stephon Gilmore.
And he's looking like a monster in the future, too.
Yeah. His team did really well. Andre just kind of had injuries. Jimmy G went out. Mostert went out.
Yeah, right after he got his 80-yard explosion.
Yeah, first play of the game for the second week in a row, I think.
Yep, 2 80-yard touchdowns.
Anthony Miller 0 for 3. Yeah. I mean, it's just so crazy how fucking finicky having a streak in fantasy football is, especially this year for some reason. We should have known that 2020 was going to fuck up fantasy too.
Well, and it goes to show how much, you could do rankings all the time, but, you really never know.
Deshaun Watson, 14 points. This should have been a giant shootout with Baltimore, based on everybody's guess.
Definitely.
And Nick Chubb, I think, had, what, last week? Nothing?
Close to it, that's for sure.
He had 5 fantasy points last week. He fumbled once as well, so...
Exactly. So just, completely flipped everything about what his team was doing. 168 is a big score, even in this league where we have extra positions. But, he really just dominated them, but made it even up the... Justin was 0-1, got a win. Andre was undefeated, got a loss. So, kind of evened up the rankings. There's only 2 undefeated teams, so...
That's right.
Doing better than a couple of... We'll get to that in a little bit. Kyle, do you want to take on the roommate battle, the Battle of Chattanooga?
Oh, definitely. Pretty good game by both of them. If I was Jeffrey, I'd still be happy scoring that, even though you lost. I don't think, especially these first 2 weeks, I don't think we expected his team to do this well, points-wise. At least I didn't. But he's scoring pretty much around the mean, I think, every week. But Tanner, Cam Newton, great pick. He was one of my biggest sleepers this year. And I think he's going to
traded for him, too.
That. Yeah, that's right. Traded Daniel
Devontae
Jones.
Parker and Daniel Jones, who both were basically non-factors last week.
Did he get a pick, too? I thought there was
Daniel
something
Jones?
else involved. No, I thought...
I think there was maybe
Tanner got
a
a
4th
pick.
round. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to that. It was a small piece.
Yeah. But anyways, CEH coming a little bit back to ground. I guess the whole Chiefs came a little bit back to ground this week.
Boy, they sure did. That was weird.
It was pretty brutal. It's kind of surprising looking at his team and seeing 154 because it was kind of just an even spread, really, besides
Cam Newton and Fournette. Damn it.
But yeah, overall, good week. That's what you want. If you could have everyone scoring 10, then you'll be in a good spot.
What was the trade that Jeffrey did for Alvin Kamara? Because I feel bad for Jeffrey, because 128 is better than he would have beaten three other teams if he played them this week, and I think the same thing happened last week. But like, I'm trying to think about this Kamara deal that he pulled off, and I don't remember who it was for.
I can't remember either. I know it was
right before the season.
It was with Siggy for sure. I just don't remember.
David Johnson might have been. No, he got David Johnson from Andre.
If I look at his team, I think I'll remember who it was. No, he got David Johnson from me.
You know, I don't know. Maybe it was picks and.
Was it just picks?
Maybe.
Because I don't see anything on here. You know what? I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know either.
Somebody will have to remind us. But whatever it was, I think it worked out for Jeffrey's team. I don't really know, though, because definitely. I can't really compare it to what the other side would have been. But he needed him because Gurley is looking like hot garbage this year already.
They're just not using him in the passing game at all, from what I've been hearing.
And and he's like 21 carries for 61 yards. Like, they gave him the ball, but he averaged fucking less than 3 yards a carry almost.
Definitely.
It's garbage.
And while he got 21 carries, I think it's also just a bad sign that their wide receivers are so potent this year. I mean, I don't think they really have a need to run the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they did blow that game, but their wide receivers are just playing out of their minds this year.
Yeah, if Jeffrey's wide receivers would just come through, if Jeffrey has a combined 20 points from 4 wide receivers added up, that's like, and that's rough.
It's no good. That's for sure.
That is no good. Well, you know what, Kyle? You know what? We're gonna do it kind of like we did last time. We're gonna have other people go over everybody's lineup. Vlad, you're gonna take this one. Kyle's gonna take you. Or no, Kyle's gonna take me, and I'll take Vlad after. But let's see. Vlad, why don't you go in on Kylito? Tell us, talk about how lucky Anthony is that he doesn't have to do Soggy Sorrows.
Yeah, so Kyle against Siggy. They're both 1-0, both with pretty sick teams, and I'm just looking at it, and the first thing I see is Saquon with 2.8, but Kyle still scored 189.
Could have been over 200.
Dude, 189 with Saquon dead.
I mean, this was almost Siggy's worst nightmare. Like, he ran into a 43.6 point Aaron freaking Jones. His worst night, like, his name in our group me is I hate Aaron Jones.
No, he's changed it. It's I really hate Aaron Jones.
Okay.
He updated it just right after this game. You caused him to update it. And I believe that
3 or 4 other leagues.
I don't know who I picked to win last week. I think I picked you, Kyle.
No, everyone picked Siggy.
No, I did pick Siggy.
I think I even picked Siggy.
His team was looking good with that McCaffrey, and McCaffrey's on the injured reserve list. Like, dude, the number 1 and the number 2 redraft picks are both playing against each other, and this game was cursed from the beginning. As soon as you put Aaron Jones in your lineup against him, you cursed.
Voodoo magic.
This is on you. Like, you did this.
My only saving grace, and the thing I'm still confident about, is I scored 189. So
I mean, yeah, that's nothing, dude. That's nothing to sleep on. How are you feeling about your trade?
Oh yeah, I forgot we didn't talk about
because Mark Andrews scored 3.4.
Darren
Waller went the fuck off.
So in my eyes, Mark Andrews is probably
he's better.
Hot take. I'd put him 2 behind Kittle. That might be too spicy.
Is that a hot take?
Well, I mean, it's ignoring Kelsey, but
no, Kelsey, Kittle.
Well, I'm saying
Ertz,
Kittle, Andrews, Kelsey.
Yo, Ertz. Ertz has been a little down this year.
Ertz has been shit this year, but I think Andrews has to do it one more time to do. to
Definitely.
be like.
I
Wait,
would
so
say,
what was your top four?
realistically, it's Kittle, Kelsey Kittle interchangeable, Mark Andrews. The rest is whatever.
I'm okay with that. Ertz has been kind of poopy lately, but he's just.
Yeah.
I
But
just
so
feel
the
like he's
trade,
so good.
I definitely, out of anything, I'm more sad about losing Joshua Kelly with how I'm looking at my team today, and it's like after waivers, I can't really get any of the top running backs because I don't have top waiver. So I typically end up just picking up a wide receiver. So now it's like I only have wide receivers, and I need running backs. So that's really what I'm disappointed about, but in general, I'm pretty happy about it. I mean, I'm not the biggest Odell believer, but I at least
Apparently, you are.
I at least know that he has a chance of being elite, even if that's a small chance. I don't know.
Yeah.
Take it.
He's
like
got
it.
16 targets over 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
not terrible. He's obviously the number one on the team.
My other big issue that I was thinking about is while I totally would feel comfortable flexing Waller,
I don't like doing that either.
I just don't know. It's like
It doesn't feel right.
Mark Andrews is a perfect example. It's like I feel like they either score 20 plus if they're that elite tier, or they're
Yeah.
scoring 3.
Tight end is such a weird position. Like, it's such a pain in the ass if you don't have one of like the top 4 guys just to plug in there. Or really the top 5, I guess. It just gets so iffy. Like right when you hit like that Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram, like they score more than a lot of them, but like, you know, a guy like
They have
Kelsey
more
is like
downloads.
Kelsey's like, you know, having like a nuke. Like you expect them to get a touchdown in like 50 plus yards every game, you know?
Definitely.
Like you're disappointed if they don't. But with like Hunter Henry, you're like, oh cool, he got 3 for 40. Like I got 6.5 points. Like it's better than a goose egg. Like,
Yeah.
you get the occasional touchdown here and there.
Well, what do you think about the trade? Are you still happy?
I'm happy with it. It wasn't too nice to see Tyler Higbee finally like blow up after a week, like after the week 1 he had. But
if you had lost
forgot
by
about
the
that.
difference of those points, that would have been pretty brutal. But
It's always
Yeah.
good to have both of them because
I'm still satisfied with it now.
Yeah.
Like, I went from having tight end issues to now not having tight end issues.
well, and
So-
Joshua Kelly's looking pretty good, getting a lot of carries. So
why
Exactly.
is he getting so many carries? Like
That's-
they acted like they were going to hand Eckler the whole load, but
I
they
think it's a questionable
can't.
for sure, but they're doing
Well,
it.
it is
really
the
do
Chargers. We can't blame them.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah,
a doctor
20.
that's sticking holes in people's lungs.
Wild.
He had 23 carries.
Yeah, I was
this
about
week.
to say, and I think I saw a statistic about the last time they gave Gordon 23 carries was like 2016 or something crazy like that.
Ew.
Yeah. And this was also against the Chiefs, out of all teams, that he got 23 carries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I just can't believe that the person had the Saquon and McCaffrey. It's like they canceled each other out. Like, like they exploded and they eliminated. Like our league has that much influence on real life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And Aaron Jones going off. It's all
Aaron
Siggy's
Jones.
fault. It's all
Aaron
Siggy's
Jones
fault.
exploding. He only had 18 carries. He had 168 yards. Like, what the hell?
Love it.
Oh, man.
It's just insane.
Okay. Well, then,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
the
going
rest
to
of
go.
this matchup, I think Siggy just got unlucky. Like AJ Green, Allen Robinson, Zach Ertz, Hollywood Brown, just all kind of had bad games.
Yeah.
He should be happy with Calvin Ridley, though, for the future.
Oh, yeah, he's hot.
Insane.
I mean, Julio's not doing anything right now.
No.
Julio had a good week 1.
I think
He
Gage even had a better week 2. Substantially better week 2. But
Hayden Hurst had a better week, too. Next matchup we have Vlad and Vic. You ruined Vic's dream of not going winless. And
So sorry, bud.
You made him 0-2. And
Sorry.
you did it pretty brutally. I mean, 182 points over his 128. You had Matt Ryan just blowing it up and somehow losing. And then you had Ezekiel Elliott. He kind of blew it up like on the comeback, which is kind of rare for a running back. Like usually it's like wide receiver time when they're coming back, but he was eating and he was doing this the whole time.
He got 6 receptions. I like that.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't really never take that much, and a fumble, which is pretty cool. Not good to see, but 19 points, very respectable. And then Hines just completely disappeared.
Who?
Naeem Hines.
Exactly.
Completely disappeared.
Wow.
Just completely dropped off the face of the earth. But your boy, your most heavily invested player, Scary Terry, he had a hot one. He had a good
last-minute play.
Well, it worked out for you. Not like even you could have just not started him or Mike Evans, and maybe one other at Naeem. You could have just not started half your team and still won this week. That's just actually true. I mean, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, all these people getting either major yardage or a touchdown. Darren Waller, big ups, and he's questionable. I didn't know he got hurt in that game. Melvin Gordon, that was an interesting game. That weird little comeback at the end with no starting quarterback. He had a touchdown. Tyreek Hill,
garbage time.
Bang. Robbie Gould, Pittsburgh Steelers, bang bang. Both really good. I mean, really, all he had going for him, Vic, was Russell Wilson. Pretty much everything after Russell Wilson, just a big disappointment. Like Derrick Henry, 84 yards, but no catches, no touchdowns. Not really a big fantasy day. Mark Ingram had a big one. That's pretty much it from there. I mean, he has such a good team though. Like Julio Jones, T.Y. Hilton, Keenan Allen, but
yeah. And what was the deal with Emmanuel Sanders? It was like he wasn't even out there.
And that was without MT. I mean, they lost to the Raiders, dude.
I think the Saints just froze Monday night. They were playing terrible.
They came out so hot week 1. They made the Bucs look like bitches.
When I think they came out early in the game too with Alvin Kamara, but
I mean, Alvin Kamara had a day. He had 35 fantasy points. I mean, he scored pretty much all of their points, but I just don't know where all the Drew Brees just he's I don't know where my boy is.
Yeah. Who do I throw slants to?
Hey.
I'm playing.
I've seen that slander on Twitter.
One thing, Vlad, I did want to say about your matchup is your week. You had probably, I haven't looked at anyone else's, but you had probably the best bench performance as well.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty exciting.
Connors, Gaskin, Kelly, Gage. God, Higbee was actually the better start, even though Waller had 22.
That's what I'm saying. If he had lost by 3,
and he traded, that would hurt so bad.
Thank God that it happened.
I actually really like the trade for both of y'all because it filled a gap and it got rid of an extra asset that you had, Kyle. I mean, there's no point of having the third and fourth or fourth and fifth best tight end at the same time.
Well, and I mean, I always think back with that too. It's in reality, I transformed Alexander Madison into Odell Beckham and a few draft picks, so I'm cool with it.
That's a journey.
Yeah.
That's a far journey. All right, well, that was our other 0-2, so that brought you to 1-1. And I hate the first couple weeks because everyone's just 1-1, 0-2, 2-0. It actually starts to get a little more heated, a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You see a little bit better about what's going to happen in the future. But speaking of 1-1, I'm back. I'm back from the
It's
dead.
looking up.
I am gobbling glizzies on a daily basis. All right, Kyle, take it away. I don't want to talk about my own team and jinx it.
Yeah, no, it was a good matchup. You scored, I think, third highest this week behind me and Vlad. Josh Allen, huge week. He's looking incredible this year.
He is.
Him and Russell Wilson just look like top fantasy assets and just incredible.
He might
Joe
be
Mixon-
the best one out of that class.
Oh, I would say right now, what was this class?
He had Baker Mayfield.
Baker.
He had Josh Rosen. Oh, wait, he had Lamar Jackson, so no,
That's
second
true.
best.
Well, hey, it looks like he's playing better this week.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon had kind of a worrisome game. It just didn't really look like he could go anywhere.
It's the fucking Bengals, dude. He's so good. If he was on any other team, he'd be so good. The Bengals are so bad.
He did have one or two runs, I remember, where he looked pretty strong, but Chris Carson just giving you what you want every week.
Consistent.
DeAndre Hopkins, again.
Yeah, he's the definition of that.
Under 8 receptions a game this year.
Mm-hmm.
Mari Cooper continuing his success this year. Didn't he have 14 targets last week, 9 targets this week? So he's another PPR machine. It's looking like, along with DeAndre Hopkins. John Brown, one of my favorites.
He's going to be in my lineup for the rest of the year.
I love him so much. He was when he first started, he was supposed to be incredible, but he kept having those sickle cell issues. And it's,
I didn't know that.
Not to jinx it, this could be his year to completely stay healthy and have a pretty productive year.
Oh yeah.
Miles Sanders back to full form.
Whoa! You skipped my boy.
Yeah, Hayden Hurst. Yeah,
My boy.
Yeah, I didn't see much of that game. I don't think
It wasn't. It was a crazy,
I just know
terrible
Matt
football
Ryan
game.
had good production through the air, but that's was it a long touchdown?
Yeah, it was like a 40-yard touchdown, something like that.
I think I might have seen that one. But yeah,
Who's
Gallup.
might have been.
Gallup, wide receiver for Gallup, had a little down week. It's like when you got that many mouths to feed, someone's gonna have a down week every week.
Yeah, it could be both of them. It could be
Gallup this week. So
yeah. I think you're right.
Butker, huge week. I'm just kidding. Bears did have a pretty good week too. I didn't see that one game either, but and then Kenny's team did well. They didn't do bad by any means, but it's kind of like how I expected his week 1 to be. Kind of his big time players scoring more, and some of those more questionable players scoring less, obviously. But
I was thinking that 126 was a lot, but I'm looking over. It's actually the second lowest. This is a high-scoring week.
yeah, it was. I guess I'm basing it off the lowest of last week, which was very low too.
That's what I'm saying. There was a lot more. There was a lot of touchdowns this week.
Yeah, definitely. I guess we should go over injury reports on each week matchup. I don't think either of you guys had any.
I already had all mine for the year, hopefully.
Yeah, it looks like Rashad Perriman went down.
We kind of already went over the two major ones. We lost CMC and Saquon in 1 week, and CMC will be back. But
bench-wise, you lost Paris Campbell. I think he went to IR.
Yeah, not
Jeff
really.
Coleman was hurt, but nothing huge.
Just waiver pickup, anyways.
Not really mad about him.
But yeah, good week. Good week from you, Cam.
Feels good. Feels good to not be 0-2. I was not about to have that. It's just good to get the monkey off your back.
Definitely.
Like
Those spirits up.
Like Vic and Geoff, that. You want to get that dub next week, and I wish they were playing each other because that would be the most badass game.
Oh yeah.
I would hate to be in either of their positions.
And I would like to see a 3-0 matchup next week. Do y'all play?
I would too. We play next week, so I play Vlad this week. I don't know
Yeah.
who Tanner plays, but if we go 3-0, it's me versus Tanner.
Tanner plays Andre, so if
It'll be
Andre
tough.
has a repeat of week 1.
Well, let's go over that game first. Let's move on to week 3 preview. Already speed through this season. Let's start with Tanner and Andre. 2-0 versus 1-1. Two really hot teams right now. I mean, both of these teams are looking really good. And just kind of looking over it, there's a lot of like question marks by a lot of these players. But I don't know. I mean, this is the toss-up, and it might actually be leaning towards Tanner with the injuries that Andre's dealing with. I mean, if you look at quarterbacks, Cam Drew Brees without MT, Jacobson, Cook, CEH, Jonathan Taylor. It's like rookie versus rookie. Juju, Adams, advantage Adams. Woods,
To be fair,
Judy.
Tanner has some hard matchups. He's Josh Jacobs against New England, Clyde Edwards-Helaire against Baltimore. Baltimore's been stopping pretty much every running they've gone against so far.
True.
So, and if you look at
and
Andre,
CEH didn't do very
Jonathan
good last
Taylor,
week.
He didn't. Jonathan Taylor is going to torch the Jets, and Dalvin Cook could easily expose Tennessee, just like what's his name, Jacksonville's quarterback
Definitely.
did.
Yeah.
Well, and Vikings passing game is not on point right now, so they might be looking to run it a lot more.
Oh man, and Johnny Smith's been reeling him in too. I can't believe he's flexing Johnny Smith though. Like he already is starting Noah Fant, and Noah Fant doesn't have his quarterback either.
Yeah, I think he's just a little bit thinner now without Mostert. I mean, he could risk doing Swift, but pedal hand Swift.
Galladay might not play.
Yep.
He's really hurting right now, losing Mac and Lindsey and Mostert. Gosh,
It's the
that's a
hell.
tough one. Well then, shit. Who do y'all have in this matchup?
This one's tough. I think this one is such a toss-up. I honestly am not sure. I feel like for Tanner, it's gonna.
I think it might be Tanner. I mean, his team's healthier.
I think it will be 2. I don't like the fact that Andre has 2 Denver players. He has Jerry Jeudy and Noah Fant in right now. So
yeah.
And then you also have Drew Brees, who has not had a good fantasy week yet. Like, I think you gotta lean Tanner on this one. He's got a lot more for sure bets on scoring points.
I think so too. I think this is Tanner's game. This is his to lose.
Well, and I just realized, has it even been confirmed Devontae Adams is playing?
No, it's not. He might be out.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning Tanner.
Yeah. Well, the projection says the same thing. 142, 137. Not that those mean shit, but I think that one's going to be Tanner. This is also an interesting one. Jeffrey could even up the playing field and make them both 1 and 2, or Kenny could go 2 and 1. Jeffrey 0 and 3. A tough one to fight from. Kyle, who you got on this one?
I mean, just looking through Lamar Jackson versus Kyler Murray, that's going to be an incredibly interesting one. Kansas City versus Detroit, I'd probably lean. I don't know. I honestly want to lean Murray on that one. Kamara has been lights out. I want to see what he's ranked. I know he's not number 1 because my boy Aaron Jones is number 1. Yeah, number 2. So he's been playing lights out, and Eckler has not. So I don't know. Just first glance, I would lean Jeffrey's way. Honestly, last week, some of those question marks on Kenny's team kind of went to what we thought they were, and Darius Slayton and I think Deontay Johnson had a poor week.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson had a good week. Slayton
that's right.
shot the bed. He went from 25 points to 4.
Yeah. Robbie Anderson had a good week, so that's good. I don't know. It's just I think unless those crazy unknown fantasy things happen, I think I'm going to give this to Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey's going to come back from the dead. I like it.
Definitely. I mean, David Montgomery had a huge week. Saw one of those touchdowns he had, or maybe the only touchdown he had. I don't know. He looked speedy. And he looked pretty good. So hopefully Todd Gurley can finally produce. Yeah, I'm giving this one to Jeffrey for sure.
He also has A.J. Brown on the bench.
Yeah. Is he healthy this week?
He might not be.
He might not be. That's the thing. But if so, he might put him in over Ruggs because.
Yeah. Well, and personally, I don't. When it's a person like AJ Brown and the situation he's in.
Yeah.
For me, I typically like leaning. Let me see it happen first before I put him in.
Yeah. Unless you don't have an option.
Yeah. I mean, especially with week 1, Corey Davis outshining him even when he was healthy. So.
That's true. Whoa.
I would just wait to see.
So, who do y'all have in this game?
I think this game, for Kenny to win this game, I think Monday night Lamar has to have a massive game against Mahomes. And then Eckler, he has Carolina, which terrible defense. Eckler could easily have a big game here.
That's true.
So I think it really comes down to that because Jeffrey just, you're going to get a great game out of Murray and Kamara. So
I did see Carolina worst rush defense. I don't know if you just said that or not, but
I just know it's terrible. I didn't know it was the worst.
I'm pretty sure it's the worst. I think they've allowed a crazy stat, 46 fantasy points per game this season. I can't remember who they played week 1, but crazy.
They played, what's his name? Josh Jacobs. He got 3 touchdowns on him.
And then they played Aaron Jones or no, it wasn't Aaron Jones. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I think I will lean Jeffrey on this one. It'll be close, but I just I feel like he has less question marks on his team.
Saving him from going 0-2. Or 0-3, excuse me. Well, I am really interested to see y'all's thoughts because one of y'all, if both of y'all are back on the pod next week, one of y'all is going to have to do Soggy Sorrows.
Yeah.
Very true. I'm excited.
It is 1-1 Vlad versus 2-0. I guess I'll go over this one since I'm a neutral party. I'm not involved in this one. I mean, it's almost identical. That's what's so crazy is just based off projections, it's identical. I mean, you look at your... God, it's crazy that John Robinson, whatever the fuck his name is.
James Robinson.
He has the most undrafted free agent name of all undrafted free agents. Like, James Robinson. Like, you could have just made up that name. Like,
I love it.
And he looked scary last week. He just kept shitting out. Like, he'd go up the gut. Like, this little dude. He'd turn into, like, a 40-yard run, like, against the Titans' defensive line. Like, what the hell?
Definitely. He wants it.
He does.
That's why
I do like that. He's grinding. He's leaving nothing on the field. He's leaving everything on the field.
Yeah,
I should say. Oh man, I mean, but if you look at the quarterback matchups, Prescott, Ryan, both big numbers. Like the only thing going against Vlad is that the Seahawks have the worst defense in the NFL right now, like points wise.
Yeah.
I think they're like 32nd against like passing for some reason. Legion of Boom is dead. They're gone forever. Prescott could put a massive amount of points, especially with his receiving core, but it's the Chicago Bears. They could fuck up and let Ryan score a fuck ton on them too.
As long as he doesn't vulture 3 1-yard touchdowns again from Zeke, I think I'll be fine.
It'll be the dream.
Like, Zeke could have finished with 4 touchdowns this past week.
He could have had a monster game. Speaking of Zeke versus Aaron Jones. Boom versus boom. I don't know which one's scarier right now, which is crazy to think. James Conner, back from the dead. James Robinson, he exists. McLaurin versus the elite DJ Moore. Advantage McLaurin.
Ooh.
Not just kidding. No, it's got to be DJ Moore. I just know that Kyle has a big DJ Moore owner.
You got your opinion.
I'd rather
respect him.
I'd rather take DJ.
I would rather have DJ Moore. Plus, Terry McLaurin has. I mean, his quarterback.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins.
Gotta hope for Alex Smith to come out on the field at
least
once this year.
He will be back. He will be back one day, but then he will immediately. He's gonna be like that dude from that SpongeBob episode that's like surrounded in when they're selling the chocolate bars. He's wrapped up and everything, and he's like, "My bones, they're made of glass. Every morning, I break my legs. Every afternoon, I break my arms." That's gonna be Alex Smith when he gets back out there. But hopefully he does get back out there because dude has an awesome story.
Definitely.
But I'll just look at the wide receivers as a whole. I mean, like McLaurin, Evans, Kupp, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Odell Beckham. That's pretty even. Like,
definitely.
I would probably give the edge. I don't know.
That's really hard.
That's a really even because I like Evans more than any of them.
Projected so low.
Tyreek is a little lower too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's Tyreek. Okay.
He's just playing Monday.
I feel like you're missing something.
Okay, that's smart. No, Tyreek's who we're missing. He's missing Odell. Odell got traded to you.
Yeah.
But now he has Waller. Gordon looked pretty good last week. McKinnon, I mean, taking a big ol'
McKinnon running.
And Sleeper has the audacity to give him a 13-point projection.
Man, he's had a touchdown both weeks.
See, that's how irrelevant he is. I had no idea that he did that.
Yeah, he had a receiving touchdown week 1. He had a huge rushing touchdown last week. I think it was like 40 or 50 yards, something like that. And to me, it's like any running back on San Francisco is going to succeed.
He's starting against the New York Giants defense.
Yeah.
That's like,
ooh,
he's a starter, against the Giants.
Yeah, you kind of have to, especially with Mostert dead. Edelman had a big week last week. He's questionable. I don't know what for.
He's always questionable.
Oh, man, this is close. You know what, though? It just looks... It might not be... Your team's really good, Kyle.
Yeah.
But it just looks so much different with knowing that Saquon could be on it.
I know. It does.
So it might be stealing my opinion, and there might be an asterisk against this projection I'm about to make because of that, but I have to give it to Vlad by just like the slightest of hairs.
I'm with it.
It would be cool to see the 3-0 battle, but also I would like to have the same record as you next week when I play Justin.
True.
So there might be a little bit of bias in there, might be a little bit of asterisks in there, but
you always want the top.
Giving it to Vlad.
It's all right.
I gotta give it to Vlad.
I still think it's going to be a toss-up.
It's a toss-up. It's by a hair.
I have I have hard matchups for most of my games. Not all of them, but you never know. Aaron Jones scores another 30, 40 points.
Definitely. The way I picture my team, I really rely on one player, and I guess most people do, but I really rely on one player to do extremely well and the rest of them to do 8 or more points. So that's all I can ask for.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty fair in this league. You gave me 8 points, you know what? You didn't shit the bed completely.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Matt Ryan gets you 8 points. Then that would be like...
Then we got a problem.
Yeah, we gotta talk. Vlad, I want you to take on this game. The Pickle Vic 0-2 could be 0-3 after this game because he's got a tough matchup. He's got a Siggy's team, which is good, but it is a CMC less Siggy team. So, thoughts?
So I think this is a massive week for Vic. Not necessarily scoring, but he needs to win because next week he plays you next week. So
he does?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So playing against Siggy right now, I mean, yeah, he lost CMC, but his team is still looking good. He has Calvin Ridley, who #1 wide receiver. I'm pretty sure is leading the NFL in touchdowns for non-QBs at least.
Oh, he's got the Jones versus Ridley matchup.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, that's going to be a shootout. They're both going to score great. I think Derrick Henry will for sure outscore DJ. I think Derrick Henry could have a huge week with the Vikings.
He's due for one.
So much.
It's got to happen soon.
Yeah, I mean, Ingram against Gibson. I might honestly say this week I'm going to give it to Gibson. I think.
Oh.
I'm honestly not. I'm not liking Ingram too much this year. Like I feel like
kind of a Dobbins show.
Well, they're using. It's not even Dobbins. I think they're using Gus Edwards as well.
Yeah, he came back from the dead, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, Julio Jones against Godwin. Hopefully, Godwin gets to come back. Looks like he cleared protocol, so he should be good.
I don't see an injury designation.
I think for Vic, he needs T.Y. Hilton to
finally.
He needs a touchdown. He hasn't had a good week this year. It's like if he has another bad week, do you consider benching him now?
Oh God. And you gotta wonder, like, he was doing good with even like Jacoby Brissett. Like, is Phillip Rivers just like a Hilton hater?
This should be like T.Y. Hilton's matchup, like match made in heaven.
I know, just chucking Rivers it up to him.
Yeah.
Just isn't.
Yeah. Keenan Allen should have a great game against Carolina.
Yeah.
As long as Herbert plays, he should do well.
Has to.
Allen Robinson should have another great game. Atlanta's defense obviously did not do great against the Cowboys. And then flexes, I think I got to give that one to Siggy. I prefer both of those over Emmanuel Sanders and Marvin Jones.
Yeah, that's a definite.
Yeah. I guess I skipped tight ends, but yeah, I'll take Kelsey over Ertz any day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lean Siggy, but Vic's team is one of those teams where it could score a lot out of nowhere. So, but yeah, I think I'll lean Siggy this week.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way I'm leaning too. I mean, it's close, but I feel like there's just an edge for Siggy's players. Like, pretty much on every level.
I think I will say Vic has him on running backs. Like, I think Derrick Henry can outscore DJ and Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, and God, he should have him on wide receivers. Like, these are just all like, they're like the geezer squad, you know? It's like, compared to like Godwin, Ridley, and Robinson, like Jones, Hilton, and Allen are like World War II vets.
You know, I'm actually gonna take Victor on this one.
Oh, we got an underdog believer.
I do.
I like it.
Because I mean, just what we were talking about with Derrick Henry, you can't keep a beast caged for long.
No.
So he's gotta have a huge week, in my opinion. Russell Wilson is cooking.
True.
And I like to think, you know, Julio, his first week was really good. 9 receptions for 157. I don't know how you get 157 yards and don't score a touchdown, but
that is a good question.
Julio Jones.
I think he could still do it, and I think if Derrick Henry, Keenan Allen could have a huge week, and everyone else do about what you expect, I think he'll get the win. He also needs to trade someone for something so he can get Emmanuel Sanders out of his lineup.
He really needs to get Emmanuel Sanders out of his lineup.
It's bad. It's not good.
I think he's going to be able to put James White back in. I would assume he's going to be back. He might not. I mean, you never know. But
also, prayers out, shouts out, James White.
Yeah.
What happened to James White?
He didn't play this week because his dad died and his mom's in critical care or something. So.
Shout out.
I got in a car wreck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Rip.
God. Well, that's our last. We got one more. Kyle, finish us off.
Who's our last one?
That would be me and Justin.
Oh, that's
1-1, 1-1.
1-1, 1-1. This one's hard to call because you never know with Justin.
Yeah, is it going to be week 1, Justin, or is it going to be week 2, Justin? Because week 1, I think he scored 90. One of the lowest we've had.
I think most of that is in the hands of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. If that Browns offense can really get moving and get their running backs producing, I mean, they had, 200 and something total rushing yards? It might have been even more than that.
Washington has a great run defense, too. Yeah, this is actually awesome.
Chase Young, I think he's been tearing it up.
This is good.
So, yeah,
he's starting both of them.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's going to be the storyline of Justin's team this whole year is he's going to have huge up weeks and he's going to have huge down weeks, and it's going to rely on those two, really. I mean, he does have incredible wide receivers. Well, I think they're incredible in Metcalf and Diggs.
Yeah.
Metcalf looked crazy. Diggs looked crazy. So I don't know. I definitely think you edge out in this. I think Josh Allen will have a better week. I think your running backs as a whole, Joe Mixon, Miles Sanders, Chris Carson versus Chubb, Drake, and Hunt. I think yours edges out. And again, mainly because same team in Browns.
Yeah.
It's just hard. Until they do that for a couple weeks in a row, it's going to be really hard to say that they're both going to do well. So your wide receivers are just, probably best in the league. So yeah, I got to give the win to you. Unless you have some horrible luck again and lose half your players.
I lose Mixon, Hopkins, and Cooper.
Yeah. And then Michael Thomas injures himself again, walking.
Yeah. He hurts himself on the bike, warming up.
Yeah. I think you got
I forget that I have Deebo Samuel just waiting, sitting there. And now he has no quarterback to come back to.
Yep.
Great. Oh, boy. Well, that's it for the Week 2 overview and the Week 3 preview. So let me just unshare this screen. All right. Now we're back on our big, beautiful faces.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not seeing any leg. I'm paying you to see
I was getting into those matchups.
Whew. I was about to have to pull your sponsors.
Sponsors of Nair, Wax Your Legs.
Well, actually, this is our first 4-man pod because.
Look at the little dude.
Oh.
Tony.
It's bright, bro.
It's a baby you, bud.
He's a good-looking cat. He's a handsome fella.
He is.
Oh yeah.
He's a good boy. Well, shit. How are y'all feeling about the league this year? I'm gonna hold off on the NDL Cup stuff because it's only 2 weeks worth of data. But remember, that's a $50 prize if you win that. Our mid-season tournament. I feel like
this
people
week
forget.
Definitely helped all three of us in that.
Yeah.
Top 3.
You would have went 9-0. Vlad would have went 8-1, and I would have gone 7-2. So that really, there's only 7 weeks of the all play. So you want to rack up those first 7 weeks as much score as possible. Obviously, you want to score as much as possible every week, but it's really important if you want to get that extra $50. Like, I'm thinking if you won the whole thing and you won the NDL Cup, I mean that's $325 in your pocket for
Pretty nice.
10 minutes a week of checking. Like, that's a pretty good investment.
Absolutely.
And even more importantly, you get that beautiful piece of machinery that Kyle has purchased.
Let me hold on. My arm's so sore from.
I guess we all bought it. That was pretty cool of you.
Yeah, it was a group purchase.
Like, it was what was it called? Crowdsourcing?
Yeah, I was glad you guys threw in because I was gonna buy it anyways, but it definitely helped.
I was down. I was like, hell yeah, dude. I should have done that.
Yeah.
This dude's coming into our league, beating us and buying a trophy for us. Cool.
Hell yeah.
I like him.
It makes you want to just work a bit harder.
Exactly.
It does.
And I would like to announce
really
I am quitting the league and taking the trophy with me. This is my championship, and I will never let it go. Just kidding. Just.
I'm going for a second term.
I'm not going to accept these election results.
I will not concede victory.
So whoever wins, you had a good year, but I won. So
We're gonna have to sneak into his house. I'm sure Vlad knows how to get inside your house. We'll use him to sneak in, and we'll just plunder your bullshit.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night.
Just
You'll
don't
never
take
know
my
that
ring.
we're there.
Still touch my ring.
I won't. I'll just get my own after this year.
And if you don't give it to us within the week, we take Tony too.
Oh,
He
no.
goes to live with Vlad.
Tony.
No, I can't rip Tony away.
He'll drive like
Tony
He
will
won't.
just walk back and he'll find his way home. It'll be like one of those stories you hear about.
Yeah, he'll be hitchhiking on the side like the Incredible Hulk or whatever it was.
Yeah, he's just
Backpack
slowly
over the
walking.
shoulder.
You know what? I haven't thought of any music for this week because I have a big in memorandum. So I need an artist that has a hype intro song, and I need that same artist to have a slow in your feels song.
Okay, so how about this? Do a
It could be different artists, I guess. It could be either just like popular songs that are good right now. It could be
Well,
old songs.
let me tell you about it afterwards so we don't spoil the final song for everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think Kyle and I both know what song.
I got an idea.
Okay, all right. Well then, on that note, it was great having the third, those are threes, third podcast,
Oh yeah.
and doing pretty good. We're keeping up as much as we can. Hopefully, we'll see Siggy soon, aka the Conquistador. Y'all have any last remarks? Say goodbye to the pods of the league.
So, just good luck with this week, Vlad.
Oh yeah.
Look, man.
One of y'all
Thanks
better
for,
get a big old glass of water.
Oh yeah.
And
You
don't
want to
bet
throw
it
a water bet on it?
all over.
I mean, we're gonna figure out Monday night. We're gonna be watching the game.
I think y'all already have a water bet on it.
We water betting it?
You already have one.
We can. No, we don't, but we can.
Run it. Put it on the board.
It's gonna come down to. I think I have Tyreek Monday. Do you have anybody? Yeah, you got Mark Andrews.
Oh, that'll be
So-
interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to that.
Okay. That'll be fun to watch. Well, I want to see how many people we can get on this pod. Like, we just need to have like a 6-person pod. Like, if we can get the people. There's some people that won't be able to get on it.
Yeah.
Is the 2QB pod not operating anymore?
Now they sleeping. Well, Kenny's
This
on
is-
vacation, so.
This
Kenny's
is their
back.
1 week notice. Kyle and I are taking over that shit if we don't get a pod next week.
They need to get it, man. They need to get it. Andre seemed busy, too. I've been DMing him for players. He's been late on getting back to me, so I think he's been busy.
That bro is dealing with a fucking pandemic. He works in New York at a retirement home during a pandemic. That's like a triforce of just like 2020 fuck you.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
it's like, that's crazy. Shout out Andre. You're keeping all the old people safe.
Lives.
Doing all of the employees' paperworks and stuff. I don't really know what HR does, but I know that I always went to HR when I had problems with anything, and they always fixed it right away.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out people like Andre keeping the world going round. But
Sure.
I'm not going to say on that note again because I said it like 3 times last podcast. So bye. That's it. End of podcast.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
I don't really care if you cry. I don't really shouldn't ever lie. Should've saw the way she looked me in my eyes. She said, baby, I am not afraid to die. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. Phantom, that's alright. Inside all white, like something you ride a sled down. I just want that head. My brilliant, I'm mad. A brilliant, her man now. Everybody got the same swag now. All the way that I chat now. Stacking my bands all the way to the top. All the way to my bed falling over. Every time that you leave your spot, your girlfriend call me like, come on over. I like the way that she treat me, gon' leave you, won't leave me. I call it that Casanova. She said I'm insane, yeah. I might blow my brain out. Hey, Johnny, all the pain out. Please, Johnny, make it go away. I'm committed, not addicted, but it keep controlling me. I done pain, I can feel it. I swear that it's slowing me. Yeah, I don't really care if you cry. I'm the way you should never lie. Saw the way she looked me in my eyes. She said I am not afraid to die. Yeah, all my friends are dead. Put me to the edge. Yeah, all my friends are dead. Yeah, put me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Yeah, all my friends are dead. Yeah. That is not your swag, I swear you fake on. Y'all ain't nigga wanna take my kid on. Red on, I just don't red on. Yeah, mess on, look, nigga, test on. Yeah, fast car, nice car, rest on. In the car, they got no ones that we won't beg no. Clothes from overseas, got them racks and they all see. No, to you it's not a cheat, oh. Looking at your stacking, look your money, it all green, though. I was counting that it's all 20s, that's a G, bro. She said, you're the worst, you're the worst. I cannot die bigger, this my universe. I don't really care if you cry. I don't really shouldn't ever lie. Should've saw the way she looked me in my eyes. She said, baby, I am not afraid to die. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge.